Hello and welcome to MMOScholar's 25-man Heroic Rhyolith Guide. This guide assumes you already know the normal mode encounter, so I'll only be covering the heroic differences in this fight. While the basic idea of the fight is the same, there are some harsh differences in the heroic encounter. The biggest change from normal mode is when active volcanoes are hit, 10 liquid obsidian adds spawn around the edges of the platform. These adds slowly make their way towards a boss, and if they reach, they will add 1% of Rhyolith's armor debuff back onto him. If all the adds were allowed to make it to the boss, it would be the equivalent of not hitting a volcano at all. On top of moving extremely slowly, these adds can be slowed to crawling speeds by any other snares as well. We had an assassination rogue using deadly brew, as well as multiple fire mages and a frost DK. In an ideal raid setup, you would also have several knockbacks. The adds, when slowed, can only really catch the boss if he's walking straight towards them or when he stomps. Having typhoons or thunderstorms prepared for the stomps can save quite a few armor stacks. Unlike on the normal mode of the encounter, there is very little leeway when it comes to hitting volcanoes. If you get multiple spawns on opposite sides of the platform, the travel time between the volcanoes by itself will more than likely wipe you, making this encounter extremely random and often frustrating. If at any point you're not able to hit a volcano on your first swing at it, it will more than likely wipe you. So planning ahead on future activations is extremely important. The same type of add spawn as on normal, fragments and sparks of Rhyolith, just at a much faster pace. The fragments and sparks are still the top priority in the fight, with the liquid obsidian coming next, and then the boss, though boss DPS needs to remain extremely high to deal with the next mechanic I'll discuss, superheated. After 5 minutes of fighting Rhyolith, he will gain an infinitely stacking debuff called superheated. This is your soft enrage. If the stacks of superheated are too high going into phase 2, you'll near instantly wipe to the AoE damage. Ideally, you'll want him to gain the superheated debuff around 30% and burn him down into phase 2 shortly after. Once the boss gets his armor stacks in the 10 to 20 range, we begin to really focus on the boss and the fragments, ignoring most other mechanics of the fight and focus on burning him. Once the boss hits 25%, all the volcanoes and adds will despawn, but the fire lines will continue to spawn. Our raid splits up into 2 camps, range and melee. On Heroic, there are several fire beams coming off of Rhyolith's back called Unleashed Flames. They chase players, but are overall rather easily avoidable. The real damage dealer in this phase is the boss's immolation aura. The damage from Unleashed Flames is not affected by superheated. Ideally, you push the boss over with very low superheated stacks and few molten fury stacks from inactive volcanoes. Raid cooldowns can safely be changed from the start of the phase until the boss is dead. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the MMOScholar YouTube channel for future videos, and to check out our site at MMOscholar.com. Good luck on your Firelands progression.